That's cool. So, do you want to tell us what Tango Fiesta is really all about then?
It's all about the 80s and action movies in the 80s specifically, but it's a two-stick sort of roguelike, but everyone hates that term. It's top-down action game, 4 players, cooperative, and you just run around levels inspired by 80s action movies, playing as characters inspired by 80s action heroes, and it's kind of like the true story behind all of those movies. So the idea is that basically they all really happen to one guy. So Commando, Predator, Rambo, it's all the same guy. But so's Aliens,
Yeah.
so Back to the Future, so there's time travel. It all really happened, but obviously when he gets back to the 80s, it's real time. No one believes him, except Hollywood, and they basically screw him over, take all of his ideas and make movies out of them. That's the idea behind the game.
So is this like a reenactment of that happening, or is this getting revenge on Hollywood dicking over?
It's kind of just a reenactment of it, sort of telling the true story. And then we're hoping that we might be able to have a few sort of bits of fun with that side of it. Yeah. It's early days.
So yeah, obviously it's clearly influenced by 80s film stuff, but like in terms of games, what's influenced it at all? Or would you say it's completely original in every way?
It's almost like it's completely unoriginal in every way. I go that far.
So it's a selling point.
Like one of the main ones that was Gauntlet.
Yep.
There's a lot of elements of Smash TV.
Yep.
And just 80s. So,
80s, yeah. Eight-directional shooting.
Yeah, so
that kind of thing. So, I mean, it's the more modern references are things like, I guess, Nuclear Throne or Binding of Isaac or something like that, where you've got that sort of procedural element to it. So every time you play till you die, and then you come back at the beginning. It's generated levels, procedurally generated. And we've got like a light RPG system in there as well. It's still very, very arcadey. It's about 4 people playing together, but people kind of expect stuff from modern action games, so we want to try and homage, be respectful, but still keep it sort of relevant and exciting.
Okay, so would you say you lose out a bit by not playing as 4-player, or
it's more chaotic?
Yeah, you don't miss anything. You don't lose out at all from playing just 1 player or 2 players. But obviously, the more players that there are, the game will scale up.
it gets harder?
Yeah, so the game will scale based on how many people are playing. And obviously, it's more chaotic if there's more people.
Yeah, more enemies, that kind of thing.
More explosions.
So you guys came together at a game jam, and this idea came together at a game jam. What decided to let you expand upon it and actually make it a fully realised experience?
It was just the reception it got, right? I mean, an element of it is we'd done one jam before as a team. There's us 2 and then 2 other guys, so Gavin audio and then you did the art. And we just enjoyed working together so much. We were like, well, that combined with the fact that it seemed to go down really well, because at Rezzed last year we did the jam and then presented it and the audience seemed to like it. So I thought, this is fun, let's try and do it a bit more.
I still remember when we first booted in, and then you just see the 4 guys just standing there, like jumping away on the spot, and the whole room just cheered and laughed, and it was a great reception. I think that was a key moment. I was like, we've got something here.
So does community feedback come from that help form it, or did you kind of have this realised vision from the start?
Well, I mean, the first 8 hours were, it's just, the jam was the 80s, and this is what came out of it. But then we sort of applied the same thinking that we did to a Predator movie and the scene that we were directly inspired by. And then just sort of, we realised we could apply that to all the movies that we loved, all the action heroes that we grew up loving, and just create a huge game out of it if we wanted. There's so much material there.
Really, our limit is how many action movies we want to homage, we want to try and put in. We've got a big list already. That list can only get bigger.
But I mean, coming back is really nice, and seeing people who recognised it from the jam last year, and then there's 4 of us, and we've got a plan of what we want to make, and this is probably two of 3 steps towards that. So we're going to go for early access, and hopefully at that point we've demonstrated what we think is good about the game, and then we'll sort of present essentially to the people playing it. We want to know what they want us to do next. It won't be an open question. We're not going to put unicorns in it.
Why not?
What?
Well, I suppose the last unicorn is an 80s movie, I think, so maybe that was a bad example. But yeah, do they want more of this aspect that we've already got or that aspect. I mean, it's difficult. You want to balance expectations. Like if you just say, what do you want in? People will just ask for the world. If you say, do you want more characters, more levels, more guns, more vehicles, adding what? Then that's something that you can kind of manage.
Do you reckon you'll ever go for non-action films? Like a nice 80s rom-com moment?
It will always be guns and shooting and mayhem. But if we can do it in a funny way, then I mean, that's the nice thing about the sense of humour, I think, is that we can kind of go a bit weird with it. It'll be fun. And a lot of
because it's the retelling of stories, we can put our own twist on it.
Exactly, yeah. Never-ending Story actually ended with, Arnie jumping in and shooting everyone. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, exactly. We can kind of do what we want. So yeah, it's good.
Or Stallone just burst through a wall.
Arnie on Falcor, that would be a good one.
There you go, exactly.
That's quite good. And finally, have you thought about bringing it to consoles as well because of its 4-player nature, or is that like a far-flung dream that you'll deal with another time?
It's entirely dependent on how successful it is. So, I mean, this is PC, Mac, Steam Early Access. That's what we're aiming it for. That's what we're doing. But it is, like you say, it's people on accounts playing or with the headsets on. But it's all about that co-op. So it would have a perfect real natural fit for the console. So hopefully shows like this, the big boys will come over and talk to us. And we'll see what happens.
Cool, that's all.